Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to six, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealer in the United States of America. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? It is Glenn Lundy. You know it, coming from the Hustle House here in Orlando, Florida. Check out that backdrop, man. Completely different backdrop than I'm sure that you guys are used to. And I hope I'm not going to wake up everybody in the whole entire house doing a hashtag rise and grind, because I've got a house full of people here behind me. I got a massive house full of people here in this 25,000 square foot mansion. So here I am in the arcade right now. I got Miss Pac-Man. I got basketball games behind me. I got a little hockey game. There's a basketball court right over there. We got everything right here behind me in this place. So I want to make sure everybody can hear me, make sure everything's working good this morning. And if so, we're going to kick this thing off coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida. Sunny Orlando, Florida. Can everybody hear me okay? Everything working all right? I just want to make sure before we get taken off on this thing. Everybody good? Love the background. Love the setup. Good morning. Good morning. Sean Weatherby's over here making breakfast. Got to meet him last night, which was incredible. So check it out, man. Here we are in sunny Orlando, Florida, and you want to talk about a whirlwind weekend. I mean, I have had an absolute whirlwind weekend. It's been absolutely crazy. Like, all the way from on Friday when my man Joel, attacked my eyeball, and I ended up having to deal with that. I'm not going to go into all the details, but let's just say that wasn't very fun. And then I made my way to some silly little conference, right? Some silly little conference that we're calling Hustle and Grind, right? We got the Hustle and Grind conference today. It's going to be incredible. I spent some time with Dave and Sean as we prepped for this crazy storm that is Hustle and Grind. And I do mean it is a crazy storm. And so I spent some time with those guys just kind of, working through everything, figuring out the logistics, what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. I've been working on all of those things with those guys over the last couple days as we prepared for the chaos that was to ensue yesterday. And by chaos, I mean absolutely crazy chaos, right? I mean, that's what happens when you have 400 or 500 people all pouring into a city all at the same exact time. And we're trying to figure out like where everybody's staying, and we got all these different houses, and everything looked good in theory, right? Everything looks good in theory. Then when you actually have to execute, it's a whole different story. So we had to execute yesterday. It was crazy, and all the phones were popping off, and people were trying to get into all their different hustle houses everywhere. And we got all these mansions that we got to figure out, and everybody logistically, we got to get them from here to there. And we're shooting all these videos and all kinds of stuff. And then last night, like right in the middle of everything, I barely ever even got to talk to my wife yesterday. And then last night, right in the middle of everything, I'm traveling around out here in this place where everything kind of like looks the same. There's all these big massive houses everywhere, right? And I'm traveling around and my phone dies, man. My stinking phone dies right in the middle of trying to communicate with people on who's in what room and who's going where and who's driving where. My phone dies, right? And so it was crazy. I had to figure out where I was. I lost my map. I lost my GPS. I had to figure out where I was, and it was crazy. But let me tell you something. So far, it's been absolutely nuts. And the fact that it's kind of been like crazy and kind of nuts, that's part of the magic. That's part of the magic. But really, there's been there's something magical that has happened in the middle of all of this, and that's what I want to dive into just a little bit today. I want to dive into and explain the magical thing that's really happening here, the magical thing that I realized this morning that I want to share with you guys that you can use in your life that's going to impact your life. I want to talk about that a little bit this morning. I don't have my normal software, so we're not going to be able to dance right now. We'll do some dancing later at the conference, but I do want to take a second and say good morning to you. So make sure that you throw something in the comment. This is the time in the show where I need you to hit that share button, okay? I need you to hit that share button because I truly believe if we can change the way people start their day, we can make an impact on this planet. I absolutely believe that. And that starts with you hitting that share button. So hit that share button. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Also, make sure to comment and say good morning to me so I can say good morning to you as we kick off this crazy October 8th, 2018, the first and last time it'll ever be October 8th, 2018, right here live from the Hustle House, the 25,000 square foot GM house here in Orlando, Florida. Everybody, good morning. I see my man Jordan Savage is in here. Good morning, Jordan. What's up, Archie? How are you this morning? Keith McKenzie is up in here. Good morning, Keith. Scott Holbert. I got Talisha Dawn is up in the house. My man Mike Brockway, of course, is up here. What's up, RC Hazard? Good old RC up there in Kentucky joining us. Mr. AJ Anderson, I got to see him yesterday in one of the Hustle Houses. Laura Berman, it was great to hug your neck. Can't wait to see you again later today. My man, Josh Cummins, is up, rising and grinding. Josh Cummins is in this house here. He's actually somewhere in this 25,000 square foot place right now, moving around. What's up, Mark Miller and Rick Berman? We got all kinds of people up in here. My man Terrell's in here. Got to give him a hug yesterday. Good morning, Pam Biddle. Hope you're enjoying your stay so far. I know it's been crazy. And Ann Gilbert's up in here as well. Of course, we cannot forget my man, Josh. Because he's up in here too, as usual, on hashtag Rise and Grind. Listen, guys, I'm coming to you from a 25,000 square foot mansion. You understand? 25,000 square feet. I know that that's kind of hard to process, right? Like this place it's got 2 swimming pools. It's got a basketball court right over here. We've got this big arcade right here in the place. It's got a massive living room, dining room, kitchen. There's bedrooms everywhere, which not enough bedrooms. Even though there's bedrooms everywhere, there's not enough bedrooms. We had a little overflow problem. I'll have to figure that out today, but that's part of the chaos. But there's bedrooms everywhere. It's a beautiful, massive 25,000 square foot house. I mean, the place is absolutely it's just insane. Overall, the place is absolutely insane. It's overall unreal is the best way to describe it. And you could possibly describe it as magical. Just being here, it's just got a magical feel to it, right? It's like big and massive and expansive, and you can dream and you can imagine and you can start to think about the life that you maybe could be living, or things that you could maybe do more, the ways that you could work a little bit harder or create or design, right? So it's got some magic to it. It does definitely have some magic to it, but that's not the magic. That's not the magical moment that I've had this morning that I shared with you, okay? That's not what that is. It's not that I'm here in this big, awesome mansion, which is cool. It's cool. It's magical. But that's not the thing I want to share with you today. You see, last night I got to have dinner with some great, incredible people. I got to have dinner with the #1 auto dealer in Puerto Rico. He's got his whole team here. And I got to have dinner with Tustin, and he's got all his guys in here from Joplin, Missouri. I got to have dinner with them. And, of course, I got to share the table with my man Josh Cummins, which is always an honor to be able to sit and have dinner with Josh. Even though we work together, we don't always get to spend a lot of time together, outside of work. And Jonathan Dawson with Cell College, and just so, Christy Hubert was at the table, and we went around, Bill Hab and Ollie Nasser, and we went around the table, and everybody shared why they were here and what their hope was for this conference and what it meant to them and why they packed up and packed up and came to Orlando to be a part of this conference and what the importance of it was. And we all talked about it, man, and it was so cool. A bunch of adults, a bunch of grown men and women introducing themselves and sharing a very, very integral part, like an integral part of themselves, right? We got really raw, and it was really stinking cool, man. It was a cool moment. I shared it on my Facebook Live, on my page. If you didn't see it, it was a really cool moment, and there were parts of it that were really incredibly, magical, man. There were moments in that were incredibly magical. But that's not necessarily the magical thing that I realized this morning that I want to share with you today. Like, that was magical. It was cool. It had some magic to it. But that's not the magical thing that I want to share with you today. You see, yesterday we also got to set up this conference hall, right? They've got this big, massive conference hall. We just found out today yesterday that Donald Trump is going to be speaking like in the same area that we're at. So we'll see what that causes logistically today. But we got to set up this massive conference hall, and the stage is going to be up there, and it's got 3 catwalks where you can kind of walk out into the crowd, and it's got these blackout lights. So we're going to be able to black everything out and really put the spotlight on the speakers that are on the stage. And it's just this big, beautiful room. It's huge, but yet it's intimate, and it's really stinking cool. And as I'm walking around in it, and I'm looking and I'm thinking like, man, this is going to be cool. All these people are going to be in this area, and we're going to have this fun, and we're going to have this conference. And I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this is pretty magical, right? Like, this is going to be something special. There's going to be some magic that happens in this room. But that, I'm going to be honest with you, that's not the most magical thing that I've come to realize today. That's not the most magical thing that I'm going to share with you this morning, the magical part that you can apply in your life. So after all the excitement of the last few days, last night I went to bed at 12:30, and last night I went to bed a husband to 1, a father to 6, it's going to be 7 here pretty soon, and the general manager of Dan Cummins, a Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. I also went to bed a host of Hustle and Grind, which is going to be cool, man. It is so cool. I got to host all these people. It's so cool. And last night I went to bed a son of God. But today I woke up. I woke up all of those things. None of that changed. But I woke up with one additional magical revelation that I want to share with you today. Listen, folks, we are not here. We are not designed on this and put in this universe and on this planet to build 25,000 square foot homes. That's not what we're designed for. We're not designed to sit down at a table and have cool dinners. Like, we're not designed to just make dinner and to just eat. That's not what we're designed to do. We're not designed to just throw big conferences and have these big conference halls, have these big speaking sessions. That's not what we were designed for. We were designed for one thing, and I realized it this morning more clear than I ever had in my entire life. We are designed simply for one thing and one thing only, and that is to build relationships. That's it. We are put on this planet, in this existence, on this universe, in this time, in this day, strictly for one reason and one reason only, and that's to build relationships. That's it. From the instant that God gave woman to man, the instant that he made Eve, he pulled the bone from the rib. From that very instant, he designed us and has called us to experience relationships. Whether it's relationships at work, relationships with your career, whether it's relationships at home, whether it's relationship with your kids, whether it's relationships with the neighbors, whether it's relationships, over the phone or in the Uber. Maybe it's the relationship in the Uber. It's all about relationships, man. It's all about relationship. I've literally came from being the most alone you could possibly be, right? Homeless, on the streets, nowhere to turn. I've got from that point to the point I am today, where today I'm going to stand on a stage. I'm going to stand on a stage as I wake up in a 25,000 square foot mansion, and I spent dinner with these amazing people. And today I'm going to stand on a stage in a conference hall in front of thousands, and I'm going to talk to them, and we're going to share experiences. And all of that, every single bit of that, my friends, it all came from my ability to realize that I have to start building relationships. And you have to start building relationships. You see, it's all about the people, man. That's where the magic is. When you start making the connections, when you start focusing on the relationships, when you start looking at people as more than a commodity, when you start looking at people as more than just a way to profit or a way to make money or a way to get somewhere that you want to go, when you start looking at every interaction and start realizing that the relationships are the pattern. The relationships are the ladder. The relationships are how you climb. It's all about the relationship. And that started for me when I developed a relationship with God. That was the first one. That was the first relationship that I had to kick off. I had to get a relationship with my Father, the God of the universe. And from there, looking at that relationship and how he loves me and how he loves you and how he loves us, by looking at that relationship, I started to understand how we are called to love one another, how we are called to build relationships with one another. Yes, we connect in these big houses. Yes, we connect over dinner. Yes, we'll connect at the conference. But ultimately, it's not where and how, but it's about building that relationship, that trust, caring for one another. That's the key. That's the key. That's what I realized this morning, man. I thought it'd be cool to stay in the house. I thought it'd be cool to hang with the people. But really what's cool is connecting, building relationships with people on a whole nother level. You guys, today I want you to focus on your relationships, man. I want you to take a good hard look at your relationship with God. I want you to take a good hard look at your relationship with your spouse. I want you to take a good hard look at your relationship with your coworkers. I want you to take a good hard look at your relationships with your boss. I want you to take a good hard look at every relationship, every connection, every person that God has brought into your path. I want you to take a good look at it, and I want you to ask yourself, are you serving that person? Are you really paying attention to that person? Are you listening to them? 2 ears, 1 mouth, as Josh Cummins said at the table last night. Are you really listening to what they have to say? Are you really trying to connect with them? Are you trying to build a relationship? Or are you just being passive? Or are you just trying to use them? Are you just trying to utilize? Are you too focused on self and not focused on others? That's my question for you this morning. If you want to go from where you are today, if you want to start leveling up, you want to start staying in $25,000 or 25,000 square foot mansions, you want to end up on stage, you want to start impacting lives, start focusing on your relationships. That's the key, man. That's the key. That's what we were designed to do. Because, see, you have to understand, you are this amazing human being, right? Like, absolutely amazing human being. Uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the absolute best version of you that you can possibly be. Like, that's why God made you. He wants you to be the absolute best version of you that you can possibly be. And you're already kicking it off. You're watching Rise and Grind. You're getting some positive stuff. You're coming out to conferences like Hustle and Grind, and you're making incredible posts, and you're making incredible comments. You're part of the Rise and Grind group. All of those things are making an impact on this planet already. You're making an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. Every time you hit that share button, you're making an impact on someone's life. You're making an impact on me. And I, for one, I absolutely stinking love you for it. You understand? I absolutely love you for what you're doing. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely love you. You guys, I'm coming to you from the arcade over here at the GM House in Orlando, Florida. And I'll be coming back all day long today. I'm going to pop in here, pop in there, let you see some excerpts from the conference. Mike Brockway says, lost the feed. Have you put your phone down? Oh, okay, good. We're still good. I'm going to show you some experts from the conference. It's exciting. I'm excited about today. I'm ready to take on today. I hope you are too. But most importantly, have an incredible day today. Have an over-the-top day today. Make sure to hit that share button and come back here tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. as we do it all over again on #RiseAndGrind.